If it's the weekend, it's animation. So we're talking cartoons today. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the show, my AKA Padders. I am Peter A. DeLuca, AKA Pad, on some social media networks known as AKA Pad 69. Hey, that was available. Maybe not. I have a sense of humor. Do you guys like the original Transformers cartoon? I kind of make fun of it a lot, but I was watching Transformers 1, paused it, and watched this episode because this is the episode directly referenced in a lot of Transformers 1. The creation of Optimus Prime, aka a little dude, a little skinny robot known as Orion Pax. He has a girlfriend though, so I guess he does have some game. We're talking about it, so let's get into it. Animation Sunday. Rock and roll.
Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production. Take one.
Action!
Orion Pax becomes Optimus Prime. So if you watch Transformers 1, you see how, well, it's quite the journey for this guy to become Optimus Prime. And you might argue the payoff is there, the payoff is not there by the time we get that revelation in that movie. It's not a revelation, it's more like a reveal. A lot of individuals out there, you guys love that moment in Transformers 1. But I was there. This is December 25th, 1985. I was there when this episode aired. At the time, I was kind of almost out of Transformers anyway. Transformers just, from my youth, had one golden year, but I loved those toys. Had a lot of them. I kept them to adulthood until I just eventually dumped them all on eBay when they were really wildly priced, and made some couple bucks. I always viewed the Transformers franchise as just amalgam. It's just it's a cementing of different ideas and philosophies, not within the context. So I'm talking about the actual creation. Because a lot of the toy guys, they had these Japanese toys. They were called Diaclones. I believe, right, that's a direct reference to in Transformers 1. And these executives said, look, let's import them. We'll repackage them. And at that point, a lot of the airwaves got deregulated, and you were able to kind of position advertising around children. And one of those loopholes or workarounds was developing cartoons to show to children, for children, that would sell a toy line. So again, it's like this amalgam of a lot of different things. The actual creation of the Transformers is as interesting as the creation of the Transformers within the story. This does make, in my view, Transformers one of the top ideas, just properties and institutions out there. As of right now, it has stood the test of time. Transformers will never die, never go away. They spent, 200, I forget the budget, but it might have been $200 million on Transformers 1. The money spent on some of these movies, it's insane. The technology. The Transformers movies, they keep families going. Think of the Michael Bay movies. Kids probably went to college for working on those movies. It's amazing. So I'm watching Transformers 1, and I paused it, and I looked this episode up. It was available on YouTube, on the Hasbro YouTube page. Thank you, Hasbro, for making these things available. And I watched this episode, and it reaffirmed a lot of my beliefs. These original episodes. This episode's written by David Weiss. He's a veteran. He's a weapon. He's a talented writer. But it's ridiculous, and it makes no sense, and it's silly. The creation of Orion Pax in the Transformers episode, Season 2, Episode 43 of Season 2. And keep in mind, we're only 5 or 6 episodes away from the Transformers the movie. But after this, Starscream creates the Combaticons with WW2. Starscream gets stranded on an island and has WW2 wreckage, and he uses that wreckage to create the Combaticons. Goofy stuff, but my contention, my thesis is correct. These episodes really rarely make any sense, but they have moments like they glitter a little bit, and this one doesn't, because it's thrilling when we're introduced to Orion Pax. It's thrilling when we see the Guardians of Cybertron, the blue versions of Omega Supreme. It's crazy that part of the plot, Megatron actually has access to a time machine. So, and and the aerial bots they're the ones that get sent back in time, and they create a time loop, a time paradox, very similar to Terminator, which is referenced at the end of this episode. The aerial bots save Orion Pax. Orion Pax dies, and they bring him to Alpha Trion. And I remember as a kid, this was like so cool to see some of the history of this. But Alpha Trion, he reformats or rebuilds Orion Pax, because Orion Pax has like kind of like a will to live, and he remakes him into Optimus Prime, and then that's how we get Optimus Prime. A lot of the Transformers during Generation 1 were created by other Transformers. This is such a crazy concept. I love this concept. And then at the end of the episode, when aerial bots are back in 1985, because we're kind of using real time here, Optimus Prime says, "You're the guys that saved me," and we're done, and they laugh, and the camera pulls away, and we walk away, literally walking away as the credits hit. So watching this episode and then seeing kind of what they do with some of the concepts of Orion Pax. Orion Pax is supposed to have a girlfriend, Alita 1. She's in this episode. I believe it's Alita 1. I may have that name a little bit wrong. I'm looking real quick to make sure I have the right reference. But Alita 1 is his babe. Orion Pax having a girlfriend that he later leaves behind as Optimus Prime is, again, there's so much like meat on this bone for this story, because even in Transformers 1, knowing his relationship with Alita 1, knowing that maybe they do become boyfriend girlfriend, maybe they develop a deeper relationship, only to have Megatron effectively take over Cybertron in this war, and then the Autobots having to flee. Optimus Prime leaves the love of his life behind and then gets caught on Earth for millions of years. That's still a major problem I have with Transformers 1, because we don't get the scope of time. When we go through the original gospel, the time jumps are just fascinating, because your mind wanders and it does that thing. It does that Boba Fett things. It does that Wolverine thing where the less you know, the better sometimes. But AKAPADers, I did enjoy watching this episode. It's 22 minutes. It's available on YouTube, officially through Hasbro. So it's not like you're stealing from anyone. I thought this was great. Great advertisement too, by the way. I went through there's a wiki page. There's something like 24, 23 different Transformers featured in one episode. That's roughly 23 minutes. That's like one new Transformer a minute. It's amazing. AKAPADers, just wanted to give you a little bit of insight to who Orion Pax really was. He's a victim of a time paradox. Love you guys. Rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.